Hello, good morning once again. Welcome to Keppe and Pacheco College. I am Lima, professor here at the college, Faculdade, Keppe, Pacheco. We are here once again to talk about many topics applying the science of analytical trilogy to many areas. This science has been created by psychoanalyst Norberto Keppe. Today, we are going to talk about the will. Is the will our friend or our enemy? Okay, so this is our topic today, and I hope it is of your interest. The will. The will is when we have to make choices, we have to make decisions, we have to choose how to behave, what to do, what way to take in life, making decisions after all. So we use our will all the time. Actually, the will is a characteristic specific of the human being because it's connected to our freedom. No other being in the universe has this prerogative of freedom. We, the human beings, are the only ones who can make choices. Animals don't make choices. They only follow their instincts. They follow what nature has prepared them to do, and they follow it. If they are hungry, they want to eat. If they are thirsty, they want to drink. We human beings, we have control over this. If we are hungry, we can wait a few minutes. If we cannot eat at that precise moment, we can leave it for later on. We can postpone it. So this is related to our will. We are the only beings in the universe that can make choices. So we have a great responsibility in this area. So let's see what we have been doing with our will, what use we've been making of our will, right? So what's the definition of will? If you go to the dictionary, it defines will in many ways. For example, will is a desire, is a wish, is a disposition, is an inclination, is an appetite, passion, choice, determination, volition. Will is a choice, a determination of a disposition to act, right? So as you can see in this picture, I can do it. It's up to you. You are the manager of this action. Or I can't do it. It's our will. So initially, I would like to point out that there are two ways of seeing the will. One is positive and one is negative. I think usually in society, the will is seen in a very good way. When you talk to people about the will, usually people have a good idea about the will because they associate our will with effort, right? For example, if you have an obstacle, such as we can see in this picture, if you have a difficult situation, if you have many problems, you can use your determination, you can use your effort to confront and possibly overcome these obstacles. So this kind of will, it's called willpower, and it's when we use our strength to control the situation, to control ourselves. So this effort we make, this discipline we have to confront a difficult situation, a hurdle in life, is very positive. And many times, this is how people in general see the will, as a determination, as an effort, and it's positive. However, there is another connotation for our will. And in this second connotation, which is negative, the will means a whim, a caprice, an obstinacy. And it's when we do things just because we want to do them. In this case, the will follows not what's reasonable, not what's correct, not what's logical, not what's needed, but only the person's emotions. Like children. Children want to do something because they want. No matter how much you explain to children, but this is not the right time, this is not possible at the moment, this is not correct, they don't care. If they want to have Coke before a meal, they want it. So, this second connotation of will is when we follow our emotions, not reason, right? So this will doesn't take into account reality, the circumstances of the moment, the real possibilities. In other words, it doesn't follow reason, but follows our emotions. Like we see in this picture, I think the girl is eating a little bit too much, right? Her sandwich is not a thin one. What does that mean? It means that this kind of will, when we follow our emotions, usually they are used for us to satisfy a neurotic desire. Remember when we spoke a few programs ago about the stages of human development? Initially, the child has an oral phase, and then anal phase, and then genital phase. So in this kind of will, we just want to satisfy these three wishes. They are not based in reality, they are not based in reason. For example, when we want to eat too much or eat unhealthy food, we are trying to satisfy this kind of impulses which belong to the very early age of the human being, 0 to 2 years old. Or sometimes we just want to do something. We use our will to satisfy our will to attack people or to attack a project or a situation, right? It's the anal phase. And when we just want to satisfy our narcissism, right? And then this is connected to the genital stage. And then this will is not positive for us, because only after the individual overcomes these three stages of development is when the person becomes mature, not chronologically speaking, but mature emotionally in terms of the personality. And this is when people abandon these three first stages, where the person is very much concerned with his own person. So it's very selfish, it's very egoistic. And then the person turns himself into reality. So the person will consider the world, not himself. This is when the person becomes mature, right? Balanced, emotionally, psychologically speaking. So this kind of use of the will to satisfy only oral needs, anal needs, or genital needs are neurotic, because the person is not a child anymore. When we are a child, it's okay, these three stages, but then supposedly the adult will become interested in the world, not in himself anymore. But many times we are still connected to our oral impulses, anal impulses, and genital impulses. And then the use of our will is neurotic and not useful for ourselves. So this is when the use of the will is our enemy, not our friend anymore, because we are not persisting in a goal, in a real goal, something connected to reality, but just pursuing an objective to satisfy our own narcissism. So the first connotation of will then, in the sense of willpower, it's when people use our determination to face difficult situations, as I said before, and people persist and continue until they achieve their purpose. Never give up. This is when our will is positive. The second one is when people want to do whatever they want. So this we call our inverted will. And this harms the personality. So what happens is that most of the time our will is inverted. Most of the time. People don't perceive this clearly, but if you pay attention, you'll see that many things we wish during the day, they are connected to these three first stages of development. They are not towards a positive, realistic goal. And then it's our inverted will. There was a Scottish philosopher by name John Duns Scott. He diverted philosophy from reason to the will. Philosophy is basically founded on reason. The main method of philosophy is reasoning. People see the logic of a thought, use logic, reason. This is the foundation of philosophy. Scott diverted, and he said the most important thing in philosophy and for people was the will. So he diverted our concentration from reason to the will. So what does that mean? He gave the confirmation for people to use their will, not reason. Instead of using what's correct, what's reasonable, logical, he said it's okay for you to use your will. It's valid, right? So his contribution was very negative in that sense. Let's see what Dr. Keppe has to say about that.
Foi na Inglaterra que Scott desviou a filosofia do seu verdadeiro berço, né? Que era a razão, colocando a vontade, que a maior parte é sem razão. Então, colocando a vontade, o ser humano aí segue muito mais a patologia, porque a vontade do ser humano está invertida. Ele é um ser invertido por causa da inveja, né? Inveja é praticamente o pecado original. Então, o ser humano, se dirigindo na vida pela inveja, ele se dirige de um modo ao contrário do que deveria. Agora, é claro, né, que todo ser humano tem o problema da inveja. A questão é se ele tem consciência ou não.
So, as we can see from Dr. Keppe's explanation, we are back here to the problem of envy, which we spoke about also a few classes ago. If you remember, envy is not what many people think, that envy is when you wish to have something you don't have. My friend has a beautiful house, I'm envious, I would like to have that house. This is not envy. Envy is when you don't like what's good. For example, if I see that beautiful house, I will wish to destroy that house. So this is the real meaning of envy. When we don't want something good, beautiful, and true. So the first time envy appeared in humanity was in paradise with Adam and Eve. That was the first manifestation of our envy with the first human beings. There was a philosopher, and he said that that was the first manifestation of envy in humanity. And because of envy, Adam and Eve, meaning every human being, goes against what's good, right? And after we do this, we make an inversion. Because what is good, we see as being bad. And what's bad, we see as good. This is inversion that Dr. Keppe perceived in the basis of every problem. This happened with Adam and Eve in paradise. As the name goes, they were in paradise. That was a perfect situation. There was nothing wrong, it was paradise. But they decided to do something different. They said, if we do something different, it will be better for us. So here we can see how they were envious because they were attacking their good life, right, in paradise. But that's why it was envy, because they attacked something good. Because of this envy, they started seeing paradise, which was good, as being bad, and their choice, which was very negative, they started seeing as something good. So you see, the first step is envy. Envy leads to inversion. And because of this inversion, we use our will, we seek happiness in what's harmful to us, just like Adam and Eve did in paradise. So we seek what's harmful to us, believing that we are making the best of choices. So this is our inverted will. The basis of this inverted will is envy. Envy leads to inversion, and then we use our will for negative things, believing that they are the best for us. This is our inverted will. Our inverted will is very dangerous to us because you will believe you are looking for the best when you are harming yourself, right? That's why it's very important for us to have this awareness, to conscientize this, the existence of our inverted will, because many times people think the will is wonderful, is very good, but it's the opposite. Many times it's inverted. And when we conscientize this will help us to make better choices in life and not harm ourselves so much. Okay, so let's continue here. In nature, there is nothing wrong. And because there is nothing wrong in nature itself, in creation itself, our original will is also very good. So, in the origin, basically, our will wishes only what's good, what's beautiful, and what's true. This is the will in the first meaning, the meaning of goodwill, when you really want things based on reality. This is our essential will. Basically, it's very good, there is no problem, because it's not inverted yet, right? So, by nature, our will accepts what's good, beautiful, and truth. But when we use our inverted will, we will look for things that are not good, are harmful, although we think they are good, right? So, if our will were always good, as it was originally, there would be no problem with our will. But because we turn against reality, envy, inversion, many times we go against reality, against what's good, because of envy, because of inversion. So because of this, many choices we make cause us trouble. Is the use of our inverted will, right? Dr. Keppe explains this very well in this book, Liberation from the Will. This is a treat about the subject. If you want to have more information, if you want a better clarification about this topic, you can read this book. You'll be surprised to see how inverted our will is, the need for us to perceive it, to have a better life. Let's see what Dr. Claudia has to say about it.
O uso da vontade na vida da pessoa é justamente o que leva às neuroses, à falta de liberdade, às doenças, ao sofrimento, e que a felicidade mesmo está num campo muito diferente das nossas vontades e dos nossos desejos.
So this is the danger. We look for happiness by making our choices in all levels of existence. If you choose a career, if you choose a relationship, if you choose a house to buy, a car, the use we make of our will, we always want a good result. In the end of the day, we are looking for happiness by using our will. That's where the danger lies, because we think we are going to find happiness, and as Dr. Claudia has just said, many times we don't find it there because the will is inverted. So, when the will is inverted, we always wish something out of reality. And what is out of reality cannot bring happiness to anyone. Here, Dr. Keppe is going to explain two diagrams. The one at the top, which is when we use our will, our inverted will, and everything goes wrong. And the one at the bottom, when we use or accept love and reason. That's the correct use of our will. Let's see his explanation. It's very interesting.
A conduta humana pode ser voltada para si própria ou para o ser divino. Então eu pus lá triângulo doente, né? No triângulo doente é a atitude do ser humano que se baseia no amor, à esquerda, na razão, né? A verdade, e na vontade. Agora, prestem atenção nesse sentido, que a vontade do ser humano geralmente é uma vontade também patológica. Então, quando o ser humano colocou a vontade acima de tudo, a vontade dele, ele começou a cometer as barbaridades, né? Então, colocando leis em benefício dele próprio. Então, o ser humano, ao colocar a própria vontade, ele colocou a doença na sociedade. Embaixo nós teríamos o triângulo certo, que eu chamo de ação perfeita. Eu pus lá embaixo aí, o triângulo divino. Nesse triângulo eu coloquei a revelação à esquerda, que é a teologia, o sentimento, o amor, junto com a razão à direita, que é a verdade, né, que é o raciocínio. Em vez de colocar lá em cima a vontade, eu coloquei a beleza, a estética. Então aí mostra o quê? Que quando se coloca a vontade, é o ser humano querendo fazer predominar a vontade dele, que geralmente é doentia. E quando eu coloco o triângulo divino lá, é o ser humano querendo servir ao bem, à verdade e à beleza.
It's clear, right, from this diagram and Dr. Keppe's explanation, how our will interferes in our lives. The triangle at the bottom, you see here, is based on love and reason. This is nature, the triangle at the bottom. Love on the left and reason on the right. So when we just leave these two elements, we are using our genuine will. So life goes okay. That was like life was before in paradise in the beginning. But then we interposed our will to that. And then we believe we are going to make the world better than it is really, and then we spoil everything. The will is very dangerous, needs to be conscientized. So, the will is man's enemy, we can conclude, because by following it, we create ourselves all kinds of difficulties in life. As we can see in this picture, the person gets completely blind because he turns his eyes from reality. He believes that living life the way he wants, as if he were a new creator. This is our theomania, the idea of being like God, playing God. If we do the things our way, life will be better. And then we become completely blind, completely lost, and see what kind of difficulties we expose ourselves to, right? So, whenever a person's action is based on his will, he makes a mistake. For example, as Dr. Keppe said, laws have been created when they are good laws, because there are many inverted laws as well. But good laws, let's put it this way, they were created exactly to compensate for the wrong use of our will. For example, people want to kill each other. So there is a law, don't kill. People want to steal things. There's a law, don't steal. So the good laws, the correct laws were created to keep people in reason, in love, not in their will, which is inverted, it's emotional, it's irrational, right? So good laws were created to that, to channel us in reality. But many times we prefer to use our emotions, and then if we let the emotions dominate the situation, we leave aside love and reason, and we make many mistakes. Let's see here an example of analysis. This is a real example. The client came and she said she was very surprised because she suffered a lot in life. And then the analyst asked her, "What makes you suffer?" And she said, "My partner, because I found a partner and this partner is only making me lose money." So Dr. Keppe interpreted her saying, "In this case, you cause your suffering by corrupting your work." What does he mean by that? He means that this lady who chose her partner, she was the one who chose her partner. So she chose her partner based on her will. It was her free decision. She found that partner probably based not in love and in reason, not based in real circumstances. She didn't check if the person was honest, was a good worker. So it was not based in reality. Probably it was based on her emotion. For some reason, she wanted to have that partner, for whatever reason it might be, but it was based on emotion. And because of this, she made a mistake. I mean, she found a partner that now is causing her harm, right? So who is the cause of her problem? Her partner? No, it was her use of her inverted will, right? So this is an example of how many mistakes we make when we base our decisions in our emotions. So the basic goal, the basic aim of an integral psychoanalysis is precisely to bring people this awareness, to make people conscientize how much they use the will incorrectly, invertedly, right? And which is none of our best interests. So this is very important for people to perceive that this use of inverted will is based on inversion, megalomania, because we think our way is the best, narcissism, we want things the way we want, envy, but also because of inverted society. Can we blame society for its problems? We cannot, because who creates society? Human beings. So because we are inverted, we create this inverted social organization. The inverted society is the inverted human being. So many times we are inside this inverted society as well. So not only do we have to pay attention to our inverted will, but also to the inverted styles of society, which is also inverted because of we are inverted, right? So we have to pay attention to these two sources of problems, ourselves and inverted society too. And the cause of this is when we don't accept our faults, our errors, our mistakes, our flaws. Many times when we have to confront our problems, what our consciousness shows us, we try to avoid it, to escape it, because we think that by seeing our problems, then we will be wrong. And not that consciousness helps us to correct exactly what is wrong and go to the right way. So this unwillingness to face and recognize our difficulties is the cause of this inversion. We become alienated, and then we won't solve our problems because everything will be inverted, right? For example, if we have a headache, if we have an ulcer, if we have an illness, organic diseases as a whole, it's because, or even when we have something psychological, a psychological symptom, anxiety, depression, it's because we are turning our backs to reality. As in this picture, you see this lady refusing to confront her consciousness and just giving her back to reality. And when we do this, we then make these inverted choices. So, understanding the nature of free will is essential for us to solve our problems, right? And have a better life. And here we go back to what we were saying in the beginning about the free will, the freedom. The human being has this prerogative. We are free. We can choose our lives. However, we cannot make the wrong decision. If we reject reality and try to do the things our way, we only have problems, right? So actually our freedom is only to accept reality, which is in itself only good. So here comes the inversion, because many times people think that by doing whatever we want, we will be free. This inversion is very common in people. We believe if I have to follow rules, if I have to obey a person, if I have to stick to what's correct, I say, but this is boring, so I'll be a slave. If I do what I want, I will be free. So what this causes? This makes people trying to get rid of their consciousness. Because if we see consciousness as a limitation, then we'll try to get rid of our consciousness. Let me be free, then I'll be happy. It's a very strong inversion, right? Only within reality can one be happy, fulfilled, healthy, and realized in life. So let's see this presentation again.
O ser humano rejeita a sua liberdade ao escolher o mal. Que a verdadeira liberdade é fazer o que deve ser feito, e não o que a pessoa gostaria de fazer.
Okay, so true freedom is accept reality. And what's reality? Is love, is reason, and beauty. Our mental slavery is not in reality, is in the use of our inverted will. Okay? So I hope this can help you make some reflections today. If you need some help, as I said, you can look at Dr. Keppe's book about the will, Liberation from the Will. This book is only in Portuguese, A Libertação da Vontade. And if you want to go deeper also into the subject and many others based on analytical trilogy, you can join our course on Wednesday evenings. This course here about emotional competence and leadership. All this discussion is essential for people who want to be a leader or are leaders already, to have this emotional competence. This course is on Wednesdays evenings, only 3 months, a module of 3 months. We started last Wednesday, and this Wednesday will be the second class. We can join us now, there is still time, or you can join next month, okay? So, if you are interested, please do join us. And here we are finishing our talk today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope this is useful for you. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next Tuesday at the same time. Bye-bye.